Perfect.
And we're live.
Here we go. Welcome to the 3-Star Podcast. As always, I am Myles.
And I'm Shaun.
Joining us today, as usual, we have Rich.
Hello.
And we've also joined by the amazingly wonderful Susie. So, Rich, we're going to throw straight to you, to our comments corner. Do we have a jingle yet?
Comments corner.
Perfect.
There you go. That was like a beautiful choir boy's voice, wasn't it?
We'll take that.
So, actually, both of you, have you preferred cinema content, movies you've seen at cinema in 2019, or have you enjoyed more streaming content in 2019?
Ooh, because
overall,
the last episode we had the chat about cinema, streaming wars, Disney to Amazon to Netflix to the UFC Fight Pass, cinema. So for me, the big shout outs were 2019. I went to the cinema once, and so everything else was streaming. More platforms added. What is interesting though, and I'm interested in your take on this, was the way streaming's happening now, and the way people are getting involved in it. Such things as like MMA that I told you I'm interested in, but like a lot of influencers and a lot of YouTubers. So did you see back in November, I think it was?
You know about KSI and that?
Yeah, KSI and Logan Paul. So two guys who are not boxers, YouTubers. Basically, they had a little bit of internet beef, if you will, and then ended up becoming a big thing. They had a fight about a year ago.
They had a kerfuffle. It wasn't a fight.
Right.
YouTube, pay me. I'll show you a fight.
Basically, so if you're thinking a top boxer, how many millions they'll get paid for a pay-per-view service, Rich? Are you aware of the KSI and Logan Paul thing?
Vaguely, I'm aware of it.
So they had that little bit of a kerfuffle a year ago. Top boxers are there getting, and sometimes healthy amounts of money, millions, but then for two people who are not boxers to sign a pro contract, fight each other and get paid multiple millions.
Wow.
It's interesting to see where the demand is, with that sort of thing. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't like it.
Well, okay, next point then.
I don't like it.
It's because if it had happened once, I'd have been completely fine. Because I'm used to seeing certain rappers will start arguing and then someone's like, oh, have a charity boxing match for it. I understand in this day and age, especially when you've got some sort of notoriety where you've got money, you can't just say to someone, let's fight. So if they had a genuine beef on the internet, which they wanted to settle in the boxing ring, completely fine. I'm not someone who's into boxing, but I know that there's politics in boxing. So like I was reading comments of people saying the first fight was always going to be a draw. Like it was always going to be a draw so they could get the second fight. Then they went to the second fight and someone kept doing the whole promotion of it's going to be a knockout, guaranteed knockout. They're wearing this type of gloves and no head guards, proper ring. It's going to be... And then it was just another slow...
I haven't seen the fight. I'm not interested in seeing the fight, but because that's a sport that I love, right? Or most combat sports, really. So I'm not interested in watching the sport being diluted like that, but it is really interesting to see that influencers now and people who consume the content like we all do, everyone here, are backing it up, and there's how much money is available in it. I'll be interested to see if it happens in other sports.
You say that now, but when it starts affecting your sport, the way I assume it will happen, you won't enjoy it.
That's why I'm not
like WWE fans like myself. I watch WWE to see the wrestlers. I don't want to see them get Tyson Fury to come over to Saudi Arabia to fight Braun Strowman. I'm just like, you put a wrestler on there that can actually do something. Or when they brought in Cain Velasquez, who I know is an actual MMA fighter, and I know he was one that beat up Brock and gave Brock the scar on his face. But then he came to the WWE and Brock tapped him out in 2 minutes. Yeah. And I was just like, it's just... The celebrities, you have your own world. Sports and certain other types of activities have their own world.
I agree.
Let's not mix and match the two.
Can I just throw a spanner in the works and see both of your views, opinion on this? So let's imagine, not the celebrities. Let's leave them to be celebrities and influencers. They're making their content great. Let's leave the sports people to be doing their sport things, be the best and the pinnacle of what you can in that sport and the combat sports. But wouldn't it be interesting if we allow just politicians to actually kind of, instead of all this that's going on in Parliament and the shouting at each other and who can one-up each other, how about we just say, instead of all of that, we just settle it man to man hand to hand, and we just have a kind of
I do not want to see two 60-year-old men slapping each other.
It's a terrible idea.
Imagine the millions of kind of lives that could be saved by we just get the leader of each country, Putin, against the
to have a country led by the physically strongest person.
Now you go.
Yeah, you say that.
Yeah, you're going back in time.
you say that, but what happens if Trump and Putin are going at it, and everyone thinks we know what's going to happen, and then Trump just starts to loosen his shoulders off a little bit. And he comes out in a little bit of a stance and he just shocks the world.
Putin will kick his face off.
Putin would come out
3 seconds
with a machine gun on a horseback.
Putin is a bad man.
I've
seen that guy.
That the Spetsnaz, which is the
Spetsnaz, yeah.
I heard that they trained backflipping whilst throwing tomahawks, and that's all I needed to hear to know.
They can't do anything else though. They can't fire guns. Get his backflip.
All I knew that's how efficient they are. I can backflip whilst throwing an accurate tomahawk.
That is a party trick.
There you go. Take it.
So that answers the question about which type of content you've consumed this year.
We went on.
I was thinking, I don't know where Shaun went with that. For me, it will be. I'd have to put it in the quality, not the quantity.
Yeah.
Quality, I'd have to go for cinematic release. Only because I spent 10 years waiting for Endgame. And Endgame was this year. And it just relieved me it was just, I won't get into it, but yeah, if you've watched Endgame and you've been following Marvel, you know exactly what it was like.
Yeah.
And then to top it off, they brought Spider-Man Far From Home, and again, that was just incredible. Absolutely incredible. Frozen 2, incredible. Lion King, Aladdin, Maleficent, Zombieland 2, Joker. In terms of cinematic releases,
Joker's the one for me. Yeah, that made the whole cinema experience worth the money, worth the while. Really.
In terms, I can't name you a movie that I watched on streaming. That was I watched them, but if off the top of my head, Irishman. Apart from that, off the top of my head, I can't think. So I'd have to go for cinematic.
I don't go to the cinema enough, so I'll say streaming.
Right, do you want one last question?
Yep.
Okay, from Steve in Hartlepool. I've just made that up. I didn't write down the name of the person who wrote this comment. I'm sorry. We spoke briefly about wearables previously. We had a question as what actual wearables do we use day to day? Which is fair enough because we kind of wear them and we use them, but they're just they're thinking probably looking for a bit of a recommendation.
I'm one of these people that generally uses products. So I have the Galaxy Watch. As you can, I don't know. I'm gonna say as you can see. I've got my purple watch face on there.
Beautiful.
Again, I'm gonna keep it 1,000% of you all. My watch strap is from Amazon. Nice little NATO mixed with leather watch strap. I use a Galaxy Watch. Do I use it? Generally, I use it. Before we started, I got a notification coming through that there is motion in my front garden. It was a cat, but you never know. So
I'm the same as you. That's the 46mm.
46mm, yeah.
In silver.
Silver.
And I've got the rose gold in 42, rocking a
black strap,
genuine black leather strap because that's kind of it's a classy look. It's nice. I also have that one, but this is my kind of dressy one. That's my kind of more active one.
Aside from the Icon X, which I know everybody knows that I'm a big fan of, Galaxy Watch as well. And my favourite thing is because of exactly what you two have just been describing. People buy a watch not based on telling the time, but how it looks and the design. Especially with the Samsung devices, you've got choice on the colour of the actual body of the watch. Put any strap on there that you want. Any watch face, pretty much, because they're very customizable. So the whole design element is completely up to you. Then you get the benefits of all the notifications, all the fitness tracking, and they tell the time as well.
Just to touch on what we said in a previous podcast, this isn't a Samsung advert at all.
But we just love it.
Yeah. Something I wanted to ask your guys' opinion on was I've noticed that again, it's been happening for about a month now. Elon Musk is driving around LA a lot in his new Tesla Cybertruck, is that what it's called? Yeah, I wanted to know what your thoughts were of the design and the features on that. I know that it started off around about, well over a month ago now, back in November. 2019, right? He did the keynote on it, which was interesting in itself. I think we've all three of us have been there where something has malfunctioned on us in front of a large audience. So definitely no problems there. But what do you think of where he's taking kind of Tesla as a whole, and what do you think of that new Cybertruck? Is it
great? What do I want to say? Is it great promotion, great advertising?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did everything he needed to do. Because the way I see it is, he did the truck doesn't look nice. Can I start there? Do people like the look of this truck?
I don't think it's designed to be beautiful.
It's designed to get
well, it's
get headlines.
Get the job done and get the headlines. So I don't think it's aesthetically pleasing at all. The whole announcement and then you can't break this window and then someone throwing a rock, was it?
A metal ball,
and the window breaks. It's like, oh well, the front window is go to the back window. Did the back window? It's one of those things where now you've seen that was just promotion. That was all the promotion that they could ever needed. If you didn't watch the keynote about the Tesla truck or had no idea that it was a Tesla truck, you definitely knew once that little situation happened. All they're going to do, take it back to market, redo it, bring it back out, and that's what the promotion you need. Which, just to touch on what we spoke about in our second episode, is apparently what some people think they did with Sonic.
Yeah,
yes,
deliberately.
There's only a few clips, and some people are saying it wouldn't have been that hard to put a few bad CGI clips of Sonic out in a trailer, let everyone react to it, redo it, and then send it back out perfectly again. Because someone noted that in the second trailer, you see more of Sonic than you did in the first trailer, which is why they were thinking it's a good ploy, because now people that probably weren't going to watch it might think to themselves, oh, let me see what it looks like with this new Sonic.
So he could have possibly driven more people to look at look at the truck. I love Elon Musk. I love everything that he's kind of involved in. I think he takes he's the modern day real life Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
He takes problems, okay, so we're using a lot of diesel powered motors. Let's clean it all up, but also let's not only just make electric vehicles, let's make them the fastest and most efficient that there is available. I think that kind of mindset, taking a problem, putting it on steroids and giving it the best that it can out there in the field. He's brought a car to market in modern times.
The thing, to the masses.
Is unreal in itself.
A viable electric car to the masses.
I've watched several documentaries on him, really. I started reading his book, I never finished that one. But just like the cars, I love the fact he's got the boring company who are they're boring tunnels underneath LA. And his aim is to be able to take you to kind of all around in minutes, because his theory was, look at how much land we take up just for roads.
That's what I mentioned with the train to LA to New York and vice versa.
Yeah, so he's doing that. And then also the self-drive cars as well, which actually brings me on to something I wanted to ask you both about self-drive cars, and what do you think of those? And
Slightly terrified.
Really? Yeah. Would you trust one?
Well, I would eventually. I wouldn't be an early adopter, but we've got the Samsung got digital dashboard, right, and this digital cockpit,
which is actually available for everyone to go and have a look at KX.
Absolutely, yeah, KX store. Yeah. I say store. It's an experience.
It's not a shop.
No, it's not a shop. It's you go there, you can experience all this stuff, the latest tech. And when I'm stuck on the M25 in the morning because somebody's done something silly, or God bless them, somebody's had a bad accident, I consider, if everybody was driving automated cars and they're all kept at the right speed and the right distance, and there was braking and people entering and leaving automatically, it could get rid of all that. But then you go, well, if you're doing that, could they just not improve the rail system and people get
train? Yeah.
But I think the autonomy of being in your own car, having your own music, your own space, your Harry Potter car scent hanging from the window.
Imagine, and blue sky thinking, if you will, for a second, that self-driving cars isn't the issue because they're all tried and tested, no accidents as such. So you can literally get into a portal, because it wouldn't necessarily have to be a car. You get in from A to B direct, and then you wouldn't have to really in a car at the moment, or on a train, it's kind of a bit of it, you sit down and just wait till you get to where you need to be, right? But if you haven't got to worry about the safety at all, that you could pretty much be in a pod of some sort that is more of a kind of like a bedroom, or maybe, you could be a lot more efficient in all of that travel time, knowing, okay, we can't do anything about the time that it takes to get from Birmingham to London, but what we can do is there'll be no traffic hold-ups. We know it's an exact amount of time because it's all automated, and you can actually carry on doing any of your other tasks depending on what kind of pod you've got. Imagine that.
This idea comes from the lack of movies Shaun has watched. I will implore you to watch The Fly.
Oh, is that...
The Brundlefly is terrifying.
And then rethink this whole...
Go from A to B via...
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, you just watch The Fly, or just Google the synopsis for the flight. I don't want to ruin it for people. So go and watch the flight and you'll see why that sort of idea is.
No, so I'm not going anywhere with that.
No, I think the pod, not as in like, dematter thing that you're not transporting through space. You're in a pod that's not really a car.
Yeah. But it doesn't have to even be a car shape. It could just be a room that you get in, And
it's about choice, right? Yeah. So if I'm getting up on a Monday morning at 5 o'clock and I'm going to work, and actually I don't have to now get up till 6:30 because I can get in my pod and it will go off to work and it gets me there on time. Perfect. If I've then got the choice of going out in my Ferrari at the weekend and just blasting down the roads within the speed limits, or a motorbike,
because that is the
having
thing,
that choice and freedom is massively important. But for the day-to-day stuff, when you see somebody on the M25 and they're in a Ferrari or Lamborghini and they're stuck in traffic, you're like, yeah, nice car, but sucks to be you right now. Yeah. My car's just as good as yours right now.
Yeah.
If not better.
And more comfortable.
More comfortable, better miles to the gallon.
Yeah, exactly.
In these pods, I suppose it's going to ruin it for all the petrol heads out there, but you could literally have a bedroom pod if you want.
You're trying to sell this bedroom pod idea?
Yeah. I'm sure he's got a patented idea or something.
He's got some investment in it somewhere.
Something in the
Coming
works.
soon, the Samsung pod. Remember, this is not an advertisement.
But I am a big fan of Tesla and what they do in their cars, and Elon Musk as a whole, really. You raised a point, I think, when we were speaking about him before, is Tesla, if they ever got into the mobile phone industry.
I was thinking this, would they go mobile phone? Would they go tablet? What would they do? And because we were talking about earlier, like, he doesn't just see what people need, it's the fastest. So I'm thinking, if Tesla do a phone, it's fully charged in 10 minutes. It's a 1 week battery life.
That's,
It's some sort of...
He's got to have an angle, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got to have some sort of... Yeah. But in this day and age, a 7 week battery life, I'm interested in that. 7 week battery life, a 3D screen. Don't ask me how it works, but...
You get a 3 week battery life because the phone or tablet is stuck in the car and the car just becomes a massive power bank. So as long as you just take your car around with you, my phone's always charged. Isn't it amazing, Elon Musk? Yeah,
can we stop saying car and start saying portable pod, please? We're trying to make this...
We'll call it the Shaun pod.
Yeah.
The Shaun pod. It does now with some cars, but then you'd have your Tesla phone, which now works as your car key.
Which, a lot of the connected apps.
But that happens
I've got
now,
an interesting story about car apps also.
So it's literally just you Tesla phone, you just in your car, and as long as you put it in a certain position, you can put it in multiple positions, you put it in a certain position. And then because you've got the one car, but the truck, not the new truck, the seats spin. So you can sit in the front and then your seats will spin to the back.
Tesla?
Yeah, and spin to the front.
I've seen the truck, the semi-truck. I saw the semi-truck. It's central, but I didn't see the seat spinning.
Well,
but
not a truck.
I
say truck. It's not an actual truck. It's like a 4x4, if anything.
Does it look anything like a pod?
Depending on what kind of pod you've seen in life, you could make some sort of argument that it does.
Sean's happy.
Would Elon Musk be welcome to try his hand at the mobile market then?
He'd be welcome to come on the podcast and talk about it.
Elon, always.
If you want to pull up a pew, by all means, we can talk you through some things.
Yeah. I'll school you.
If he was to come into the mobile industry, I'm saying a tablet, not a phone, because everyone uses a phone. He would do...
You said like 3D phone. I'm thinking like a foldable, transformable, wearable.
He's going to do
Samsung Fold.
Detachable phone.
We did that last year.
Yeah. Maybe a wearable?
He's going to do
VR. We did that 5 years ago.
Some sort of phone that comes in like blocks, and then you can just take it apart. So I want the camera on the top. You're not using the camera.
Somebody's already done this.
Yeah, I saw that.
A modular phone.
It
didn't take off.
Like you had kind of a capacity of 12 blocks, and you could choose what was more important: memory, battery.
You make a good point. You don't have to be the first. You have to be the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody else has done it. He can go, right, you've done all the R&D in that. Great. I'm going to learn from that, and I'm going to do something better.
No, I think that Elon Musk is more concerned about being the first and driving things forward than kind of tidying up.
Does he do electric scooters or motorbikes? Because it seems like electric motorbikes are a much easier thing to make good than a car.
He does a random collection because he has
He's trying to get to Mars.
Zombie survival kit where he created a flamethrower.
So this was the boring company, and what he actually did was that he released their shop on boring.com is just one item.
Boring.com?
Yeah, boring.com.
Clever. Yeah.
And it's just one item, and so he released a cap. For example, it sold so many thousands of units, and then he was like, what can we do next? and it was a flamethrower, but it isn't actually a flamethrower. It's something that kind of projects a flame in front of you, but a flamethrower is technically a very separate thing.
Right.
And
it's a portable marshmallow toaster.
yeah, but he had trouble. He sold like 1,000 units at $500 or whatever it was, but he had a lot of trouble with customs saying we can't push this through. So he put a stamp on the front of the box saying this is not a flamethrower. Just like, don't worry about it. It's not a flamethrower.
Okay,
and
fine.
But I like
a flame pod.
Those guys over there doing backflips and throwing tomahawks. I'm going to worry about them more.
Yeah. I think definitely with Elon Musk and Tesla obviously deal with the automotive. He's got the boring.com. And I think if he ever ventured into the mobile kind of market, I don't see any kind of thought. The people who always win for extra competition is the consumers, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and that's what, at heart, everyone, I know we are, that's what we're all in it for what's the best out there. We're very lucky that we always bring out really great products. Very
Absolutely.
lucky in that sense. So anyone else that is going to push that forward is only going to, and take some inspiration from what we've done. I mean, what do you think about companies when you hear people say, oh, they're stealing this idea and that idea and you're copying this or they've copied that? How do you feel?
If I wasn't in the business, I would say the same thing as well. But when you realise, when you find out how much R&D, research and development, goes into making these devices, me personally, it's more of a, who is this one person going around these different companies and saying, they've got this, you should try and use this? Because it's on more than one occasion you will see. So the first one I noticed would have been Apple. iPhone 3/4, they were the first to sort of have the generic smartphone design.
Yeah.
No matter what cartoon you watch, what film you watch, if you go and type in smartphone logo into Google, that generic screen, border, circle button, speaker at the top, it's the iPhone design. Everyone then followed that design.
But I like the fact that happens, and what I always say, forget about which company did what first. I think what happens is we find out what customers or consumers really want. So Apple did a great design of a phone and got the way that looked when there was a lot of changes happening. This was kind of when we were doing our S3, tinkering around with that, the S4 example.
This is when Apple had Steve Jobs,
and it looked fantastic. So if that's what people like and that is what people want, then go with that. But then take some inspiration from it and move it forward a little bit more. And I think that's when. So you were on about that kind of look of the phone, but what about when the Infinity display came out?
Same thing again, because it's one of those ones where it's all about who's manufacturing the phones for me, because I watched a Netflix documentary on it, on just counterfeits in general. It is so easy to mimic what someone else has done. In terms of quality, that's when you start to struggle due to either being able to get the right materials or whether it's the cost effectiveness of it as well. So I feel like when Apple did that design, I feel like everyone jumped on the bandwagon.
Right.
Same thing with the S8. So Samsung did the
Infinity display on the S8, right.
Called it the Infinity display. And then what you started to notice was everyone then started having their own look on the Infinity display. But the difference being is with the Infinity display, we did it less bezel, more screen. So everyone else can say, it's a good idea. You want more screen, you want less bezel. That's why we've adapted a similar screen type. With the iPhone, I feel like everyone just copied it.
I think, for those who don't know, the Infinity display was basically when Samsung released the S8. First of all, introducing what is known as the Infinity display, and it was basically the removal of the home button on the screen as a physical button, and cleverly embedded it underneath the screen. And this led for a problem that anyone in the industry, and a lot of our listeners and viewers will know this, that people want a bigger screen but a smaller phone. The best way to do that is to get rid of any other junk across the phone and that boxed in effect. So when Samsung released that is a moment that everyone stood up and applauded. The fact that went next, that it really doesn't bother me any of the other manufacturers if they're bringing out a device with the same, because it's a nod to Samsung. Well done. This is what consumers want. We are right with that. Now let's move forward. And then the whole industry moves forward. And again, who's the winners out of it? The consumers, right? You're getting better devices. Previous episodes, we've spoken about how we consume our tech, how we use our tech and stuff, but that's only happening if innovation is constant.
One thing you said about getting rid of the junk, this is such a bad subject. How do we feel about the headphone jack?
Oh, interesting point. You know something? Only yesterday I was joining the conference call and I went to just plug in my headphones. I wasn't sure what charge was on them. And the last thing you want is your headphones messing up during a lengthy conference call. And that was the only time I wasn't able to get my adapter. So that was when I thought, But in reality, I've not been affected by it because the wearables now and their headphones or earphones are predominantly wireless, truly wireless anyway. So
I like a headphone jack, I must admit. But every time I put a winter coat on, put a scarf on, I'm ready to go, I have to think, right, if I've got headphones with a cable, it's like, right, where am I going to put it? Because I'm going to end up turning around and someone's going to yank it out my ears or whatever, break the headphone jack anyway.
It's situational. For convenience, like I love these headphones, so if I go to the gym or if I'm just walking the dog, I will whack these headphones on, just bother me. But when I'm at night time in bed and I want to just listen to some music and charge my phone at the same time, I can't go to sleep. I can't sleep with these on. Sorry, I've slept with wireless headphones in before.
Yeah.
Woke up, couldn't find one. Never found that one since then. I just woke up like, ugh. So I needed it. And for me, I'm a traditional person where when technology's there, where I can lose my headphones, go to Poundland and buy wireless headphones that still sound somewhat decent, then I'll be all happy with no headphone jack. But
I will never sacrifice quality for a quick fix.
Your ears are too precious.
Yeah.
No way.
The sound quality's too precious.
If you were somewhere, let's say we leave here now, you walk down the stairs, drop these, they break. You're not gonna go. You'd go somewhere else and fork out however much money instead of just buying a quick replacement pair. I mean, literally, I'm going home, so I'm gonna buy some. No, actually, these don't break. You go out, you've left your headphones. You need some headphones for the day. Poundland or Tesco, buy those JVC 9.99 gummies and put them in my ear.
Just get Elon Musk to throw a couple of balls at it, check it's not going to break.
As a quick replacement, but I wouldn't sacrifice quality for as a long term.
And the good thing is you do get, going back to our stuff, the Samsung stuff, you do get the Type-C headphones, the AKG headphones, which are still cable headphones, but they do plug straight in. So you've got a bit of, it kind of bridges the gap, I think. And you do get, if you take away the headphone jack, you do get a bit more space inside for a little bit bigger battery, or, so actually...
Let's carry on the debate online with, so viewers, listeners, let us know what you think of the headphone jack debate. Do companies ever copy or get inspired?
Is it stealing or sharing?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to ask.
Stealing or sharing? Let me know about my new merch idea. # this is not an advert. Let me know in the comments. But again, guys, anything else?
Not from me.
I feel like that is all. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below. Let us know. Answer our question of the day. It is headphone jack?
Headphone jack or no headphone jack?
Headphone jack or no headphone jack? Question of the day.
Have you missed it?
Until the next time, I've been Myles.
I'm Shaun.
We've been joined with Rich and Susie. We have been the 3 Star Podcast. See you next time.
Thanks.